So tell me more about your apprenticeship scheme.
Yeah, sure. I work for BGL Insurance, so we are part of the Market Study Group. So we look after insurance over kind of a wide range of products, so car, van, home, and we administer the product. So we're not the people that kind of are the insurers, we're the people that deal with the customers. So I work as an operational risk manager within BGL Insurance. And my apprenticeship was as an insurance practitioner level 3. So I completed the Chartered Institute of Insurance certificate as part of my apprenticeship. I actually finished my apprenticeship about 2 years ago now, but it was a 2-year course when I first started in BGL. Do you want to tell me a little bit about yours?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a level 6 project management degree apprentice at a company called Leonardo. So Leonardo is an aerospace defense and security company, and it's actually an Italian company. So we're based all over the world. We've got 7 sites in the UK, and we do pretty incredible stuff that I can't really talk about. So we'll keep it like that. But very interesting work that we do. My scheme itself is 4 years, and I started in 2021. So straight after my A levels, and I've been here for about 2 and a bit, 3 years now. And in terms of sort of how it works, the first 3 years we move around in placements, and then in the final year you go into your favorite sort of placement and you work there for a year duration, and that's where you sort of get your job offer after the apprenticeship scheme. But is that how your one worked, or was it
Yeah,
different?
so how long were your rotations in each area?
It really varies. So some placements about 3 months, but I could also extend it to about 6 months. So it really does
Okay.
depend on my sort of interests.
Yeah, so we have something in the business called the Pathway Scheme, which is what
Okay.
I did when I started. So it was the same sort of thing. So we did 6 months rotations in different areas of the business. Obviously, because it was a 2-year scheme, we only had 4 placements. So when we start, everyone kind of starts in the contact centre speaking to the customers, because that's like the basis of our business, if you like. So
Yeah.
everyone starts speaking to the customers on the phone, and then I went into the fraud team, so doing validations of different policies, if there was any fraudulent activity, that sort of thing. And I then did 6 months, well, 2 a year due to COVID, in the risk team, which is where I am now, but more as a first line kind of area. So we were doing controls testing for the business. And then my last placement was in incident management, which is where I then secured a role at the end of my apprenticeship.
So what were like your highlights of your placements? What sort of kept you going?
There's quite a lot of apprentices here at BGL, so they range from kind of level 2 to level 7, so there's such a kind of wide range. And we would always have forums with the other apprentices and people on the pathway schemes. We were quite tight knit, like apprentice community here. So I think that definitely helped. We used to have development days, so when we had that 20% off the job learning, we used to have a day a week that was kind of siloed for that, and we would do that with some of our peers. So it was always nice to kind of catch up, and we always had someone to turn to and talk to if we were having any problems with anything. How did your off the job learning work?
So ours is a lot more structured. So we have
Okay.
1 day a week at university, and you'll sort of attend. So my days are Wednesdays. So I've got lectures all day, and that goes on for about 6 weeks for each module, and then we have 6 modules each year. So you just end up rotating and sort of going through each module, really, yeah, and applying that to work and your placements that you're working in. What skill would you say you definitely developed, like sort of through your apprenticeship scheme, that has impacted you now post apprenticeship?
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably time management. Obviously, coming straight from college, or school and then college, everything's kind of set out for you in your day, and people tell you where to be at what time. So I think kind of post coming out of there straight into an apprenticeship, it was just kind of getting used to that, being a manager of your own time. So I think organisation and time management is definitely a big one. What made you go for the apprenticeship that you've gone into?
Well, so when I was in sixth form, it was a matter of me not wanting to take my subjects any further, actually. So I did well. I got 4 A stars in my A levels, and I just didn't love any of those subjects enough to take them for 3, 4 years further. So I ended up sort of just, reflecting and thinking about where I see myself in 5 years' time, sort of post sixth form. And it ended up being sort of in the working world, in like a corporate setting. And I guess the degree apprenticeship route was the head start for that sort of career path I envisioned for myself. I think it's quite daunting, going to such a big company, and especially from school, right? Because we're so used to smaller
Definitely.
classes
Yeah.
and small year groups, but you're going to this big company, but there's actually such a great community there already that supports you, and even externally as well. People understand and get what you're going through. So I think that definitely, supports with the transition from school to apprenticeship schemes, and it's a great bonus of being socially connected to other people, because a lot of people, especially when I say I'm going to university full time, they're always like, oh, but you missed out on the social life, and my response is like, not necessarily, because of that same community, that same sort of student clubs, student unions that you go to, that exists as well. I have every single right to go to a university social, because I'm a university student, so I still get to engage with that element of things. But equally at work, you get to go to work socials or team socials, and you just get the best of both worlds.
Exactly.